What is up? Welcome to the NBA Rundown brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Spread Astaire, and Tyler Hicks will be joining me soon. But I figured, hey, we got a lively chat. We can get started right away. It's just a review episode, right? So we'll have some fun with it. Interesting game last night. Not the closest game, but hey, there's a lot of people in the chat yesterday who basically had the game right on, right? And I got my pick right. Kevon Looney got there for me, right? So I felt pretty good about that. I was a little scared off the side, a little disappointed in myself for not trusting my handicap. I guess I was just a gut punch in game one to get that wrong. But the idea that the role players were going to continue to perform in that manner definitely came through here. Al Horford and Marcus Smart and Derek White definitely regressed. Definite regression there. Draymond Green set the tone early, getting that jump ball with Al Horford, and the Warriors were physical. And we don't count the Warriors as a physical team, right? And what's funny is I see a lot of people blaming the officials. I think that Boston's going to have to just take some ownership of that, right? And not just blame the officials because look, we all knew that they were going to come out and that they were going to get the friendly whistle, right? We knew that it was going to be, a more conservative whistle, that they were going to let the players play. And so I feel like they allowed themselves to get punked, and they got punked by a team that we think is soft. Obviously, Draymond's a punk and he does all that annoying stuff. Like, when he fell and he had his legs on Jaylen Brown, right? Just trying to annoy him. But the end of the day, to me, that was a no call. And I know there's people, especially people who bet on Boston, who felt that he should have been ejected there. I did not. I understand the frustration with the leeway that he gets, but at the same time, man, if you're a Boston fan, and I understand take betting out of it, but do you really want to win? Because of the team's player gets ejected. And I mean, is that like your game plan? Is he's going to be a punk and he's going to get ejected? I don't think it should be that way. Jordan Poole came back, and I'll give you guys in the chat props because I was right on Looney. I said Looney was going to have a great game, and that happened. Jordan Poole came back. I was a little worried here. I was a little worried about his efficiency here in this series because the Warriors already look so small there going against the Celtics. But when he scores like that, you can make up for those defensive liabilities. Another thing the Warriors did was, and Tyler and I talked about it, it felt like they continued to give them the 3-point shots, right? I saw plenty of screenshots today, where the Warriors had basically packed the paint and left that 3-point line open. So they weren't afraid of the Celtics repeating that performance. So that seemed to be their strategy going into it. Tyler, what did you think of the game last night?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely baited him into some threes. I'll agree there. I think they got the benefit of the whistle a little bit. I know you're going to disagree.
What I said? Did you hear what I said, though? The Celtics had to know that was coming, so they allowed themselves to get punked.
Yeah,
because if you knew the whistle was going to go that way, why wouldn't you play physical back?
Yeah, but they
if you and I are playing and
physical.
You punk me and they don't call stuff, I'm just going to go down and I'm going to try and punk you back. I'm not going to
the
just
other
go,
thing I will say
is ref,
Steph,
bail me out.
Steph played a very good game defensively. Like, they tried to hunt him, and he kind of held his own, so I got to give him credit there. I said he was going to be the guy getting hunted a lot, and they tried, and
I think he's better than he gets credit for personally, especially going against guys his own size. I think where Poole's the guy that you should be hunting. I think Steph against guys 6'3" and under is a great defense, not great, above average defender. His problem is, like you said, because we were messaging, who was Tatum shooting over?
Oh, Gary
GP.
Payton.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things you can't do.
Right over him.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, the game was, I mean, for the most part, up until the third quarter, it was kind of back and forth. And then the patented Warriors third quarter came in, and it was like, I wouldn't even call it a patented one. They kind of turned it up a notch because would they go up 25 in that quarter?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, Celtics
right. I mean,
the Warriors
fourth
went red
was
hot,
funny.
So it was over right there.
the fourth was funny. It was kind of like, am I going to learn anything by watching these guys play? Right? Like, what were we getting? Some Aaron Neesmith minutes, right? Some Daniel Tice
How do you
minutes.
feel about the Bielitsa minutes?
I mean, I think he's fine, like as a role player.
Yeah, I mean they tried to hunt him also, and he kind of held up a little bit, and a couple times he got put in like screens with Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you kind of got to go bigger with these guys. Like GP did all right, but again, they
I
shot
thought
right over
GP
him.
did great.
I mean, he did all right. And when you're winning, it's always going to look like he's done better. Like if they're shooting over him and them shots go in, like, and this is a lot closer of a game, you might not think he played great. You know what I mean?
I guess, but it's like if they're shooting over him, what's he supposed to do? That's like a scheme and a matchup switch. Like you just got to make sure that you're blitzing and you don't allow him to get hunted like that. But it's not like I have expectations that he's supposed to stop Tatum one-on-one, especially when Tatum has post position.
Yeah, that's my worry though. Is like the moment he got put in the post, it was 2 dribbles. Tatum was right under the rim. Like I would go back to that every time they're matched up and force the double to come.
But they're playing so far off the line. It's not the double's not far away. So I'll live with that because number one, I get more energy, I get more quickness, and I get more athleticism. They looked old and slow in game one, right?
Yeah, they did. They
Peyton,
definitely 100% did.
you can argue he's the best athlete on the floor with if you're just talking about speed and hops, right? Obviously, he's not that big, but right, he gives you that burst of athleticism, the speed, the tenacity. So I really liked it. I really liked his minutes. So, and that's what's going to happen with smaller guys. They are going to get shot over. But hey, when you're draining threes, and then hey, you can shoot, corner, corner twos over a small guy. I mean, it's fine. So, anyways, it was nice because we talked about it yesterday. The series was over if they lost. So
Yep.
now we have ourselves a series. And before I really want to victory lap the Warriors, because I mean that's who I'm rooting for. I don't have a series bet. We're taking this game by game, but I am rooting for the Warriors. Like as just a fan, I'd like to see them win again. But you and I both have concerns about their chances in game 3, Tyler. And of course, we'll do a full rundown and a full preview of that game on Wednesday on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video so you'll be notified when we go live. And as long as I'm plugging Run Pure Sports, have you seen what these guys have done for the month?
Oh, I mean, Joey and Keg with the
Joey, JJ, and Keg are up 20
Joey,
units this month.
JJ, and with the MLB and Keg with the NASCAR. I mean, they're just tearing it apart.
I threw in like 2 of those units, so hey, give me a little credit there as well,
haven't
right?
thrown in
I
any.
did pretty well on the French Open, so hey, we're doing great, but hey, I'll be honest, they've overshadowed me and dwarfed me in their production, but hey, I'm just I'm happy to be part of a winning team, right? Whatever it takes to get it done. So use that promo code GetBets over on runpuresports.com to become a member and join in all the winners. Now that we got the promotion out of the way, Tyler, let's talk about why we expect the Celtics to bounce back. Before the series started, what was my one of my big drawbacks on the Celtics is they couldn't play 2 good games in a row. And I felt we saw it last night, right? And what's weird is a lot of times that Tatum and then the team success kind of goes, right? Like they suck, then Tatum drops 40 and they win. Then they suck, then Tatum bounces back. These 2 games, it was kind of the inverse, right? Tatum, first of all, he played really well in game 1, but he didn't shoot well. He shot a lot better last night, I felt, but the team wasn't there. What do you think happens in game 3? How much are we taking away from this? I think this is going to be a great series. Are we looking in for a 7? Are we looking for 6?
I mean, we're probably looking 7. Like the more it looks like that. I said it earlier to you in our DMs. It was like I have this weird feeling the Warriors are going to win all the odd games. The Warriors take all the even games up till game 7 and then throw everything out the window game 7. But,
yeah, I mean, I don't trust the Celtics to win 2 in a row. So I'm thinking the Warriors have a great chance in that game 5, though. If they can win 4 and 5.
Yeah, back home, like they could 100% win that game.
Right.
But you got to think with Boston back home for game 3, like Horford and Smart combined scored 4 points.
So they're going to do like way better. That's already like instant.
It's back home. Yeah, like even if they do like a little bit better, like they're going to do better than what they did. They were 1 for 4 and 1 for 6. Neither made a three-pointer.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown scored, I think, 13 of his 17 in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think he bounces back. Derek White had a decent game off the bench, so you can't say anything about him. And Tatum can either do the passing Tatum or he could do the scoring. It all depends. And I don't think Jordan Poole has another good game like that in Boston. Like, he caught fire in that third quarter. When you're shooting half-court threes and they're dropping like that, there's nothing you can do against this team.
That was the point where I'm like, okay, how much am I going to really learn from watching this game? You know, can I maybe throw on maybe can I throw on some jazz on the other team and turn off the volume and just listen to some music and watch this fourth quarter? Because you know, at that point you knew they just had it going, and that made the lead like 20.
I see a lot of people talking about his plus-minus being minus 36. Mm-hmm. Don't you think that's a little like kind of inflated by the fact that he played 34 minutes to everyone else's like 28? Kind of took that run right on the chin. I always argue
that single game plus minus is one of the most misconstrued stats or least valuable stats to use. So single game plus minus, really, I don't take a lot into it.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure he played literally almost the entire third quarter. So he took the
brunt
of that run. Yeah. I mean, he had a great plus minus.
No, Clay
it was 0. Yeah, it was 0.
No, he was like minus.
You took Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the box score right here. His plus minus was a 0.
Maybe the stat I saw had both games in it. I saw that his plus minus was negative. Let me look that up right now. Break something down real quick so I can look it up. See if I can find it, because I think he has a negative plus minus for the series.
Oh, he 100% has a negative plus minus for the series because of game 1.
But the Warriors have a positive plus minus when he's not on the floor. I'm going to find that now. Just give us a quick breakdown. Let me see if I can find that stat real quick.
But I found a little trend to go on for game 3 when looking at this game.
Oh, yeah. Read those out. Those are great.
Oh, yeah. Another one I seen too. We got to pay attention to this one. Tony Brothers game.
Hold on. You're breaking up. Do we get you back?
Am I back?
Keep talking.
If we get Tony Brothers for another game in the series, we 100% be on the Warriors for that game. So we go straight up and 4-11 in NBA playoff games with Tony Brothers since 2015. And after game 3, since 2003, home teams coming off a win of 15 plus points or more of the pre-playoff game, and then going into game 3 as a dog, are 490 ups. That's 29.6%. And against the spread, they're 67.41. So I'm definitely looking to back Boston game 3.
Tyler, jump in and jump back out. But I think you sent that to me, so I'm going to reread it out. Jump in and jump back out because we're having problems there. So here's what Tyler was reading out. Sorry for that, guys. Celtics are now 3-12 straight up and 4-11 against the spread in NBA playoff games that Tony Brothers has reffed since 2015. Some of those are kind of random to me. Some of those are kind of random here. But still, like, I understand his points. Scott Foster, wonder when he gets deployed. And the fact that we talk about these referees, to me, is like a blight on the National Basketball Association, and they need to do something about it. I'm a big NFL guy. We're going to do NFL shows, starting in August, right? Tyler and I will be back, right? Dynamic duo. We're not going anywhere. We don't talk about the officials nearly as much, during an NFL playoff game. But I don't know. NBA ratings are up, right? Game 7 for the Celtics and the Heat. Remember I said I didn't know what the ratings were? Game 7 for the Celtics and Heat was fantastic. They did some of the best ratings they've had. So the ratings are up. Maybe there's no incentive to change. I remember when WWE, was running like some things with the referee angles, and they had those twin referees. Maybe it's good. I don't like it. We the People says, I'm not even worried about Foster if CP3 isn't playing. Yeah, so let's see what's going on. Tatum leads in turnovers by almost 60 for what? For the whole. Can you give me more context on that? And this is why I agree. We were going back to plus minus here. I'm just going to rely on the chat till we get Tyler back. Plus minus over a season is huge. I agree. I completely agree. It tells how your team plays with you on the floor, which is important as you can get. I agree. Full seasons, large sample size plus minuses is fantastic. Single game plus minus, I think, can be so misconstrued. But I completely agree on full season plus minus. So I think you make a great point there, and thank you for helping me clear that up. Monster weekend for the crew. Jonathan Nelson sitting back, counting his cash this weekend, feeling pretty good. Maybe he'll even get another tattoo. You never know. We the people likes the Warriors to bounce back in Boston. And of course, we'll talk about that. And he's talking about Clay. Clay, hit the first quarter over. Clay playing bad. Richie says Celtics played soft. I'd have to agree with that. Like I said, we knew it was going to be crazier. We knew that it was going to be more physical, and we knew that they'd have a we knew they'd have a friendly whistle at home. So I think you got to take advantage of that, and I don't think they did that. He says Boston has played better on the road than at home. That's true. Boston just falls to 7-3 on the road this playoffs. After that last, they were 7-2 going into that game. Is Run Pierre killing it lately? I mean, all the time, but lately it's been unbelievable. Speaking of killing it, let's see how the internet providers in Pennsylvania are doing for us. Is he coming back? Check, 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 check 1, 2. This is not good, man. All right, so yeah, I guess man, that sucks. I thought Tyler had more to say on this game than I did. I'll be honest. Like I said, I'm still a little humbled from game one. I was happy to see that the Warriors won game two, but I'm not saying, oh, this is it. This is it. I think Boston's got a great chance to win game three. I think I'm really curious to see how the Warriors respond. But let's be honest, the Warriors just have to split. They can lose by 25 in game three, and it's not that big a deal if they win game four. So this thing, even if they lose game three, it doesn't mean so much to me. And of course, we're going to see the thing that says in a series that's tied 1-1, the winner of game three wins 82% of the time. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But I think this might be a little different situation because I do know that if the Warriors lose game three, they're going to get that game seven at home. So they just got to get it to that game seven. I think they're so good at home, game one notwithstanding. I'd love to hear what the chat thought about the coaching adjustments. Did the Warriors make their adjustments of simply playing better? Or was it something that Steve Kerr did that you guys saw out there on the floor? I'd be interested to see what you guys thought about Udoka purposely getting a technical. Do you think that helps? Do you think it hurts? Was it a good idea? It was fun to watch. I mean, anyone who could lip read knew what he was saying, and hey, he deserved that. Um, so yeah, I saw that video too. We the people full seeing those women courtside, but I think that's like super edited, like they do with those reality shows too. So we the people says they lose 4 and 6. Okay, okay, and like I said, doesn't 3 or 4 doesn't matter. They just have to go 1-1 on Boston, and I feel they're back in control of the series. And I'm really disappointed, boy, that we don't have Tyler here. I think that's going to cut the show short because we were DMing a little bit this morning, and I said, "Hey, we'll just save it for the show." So I didn't even know like a lot of what he was going to say, because we were just going to kind of do it to get that live organic reaction, rather than having an argument in the DMs and then just rehashing it on here. I wanted to get that true organic reaction. Matt says in game one, Boston just hit a big run at the perfect time. Golden State, the better team to me. That's where I've been too, but a lot of people are the other way. And these aren't just, casual fans. I mean, a lot of sharp NBA cappers think that Boston's the better team there. So it's a matter of opinion. I think that these teams are really close, and hopefully we're in for a great series. And hopefully we get some great games too. I hope it's not a 7-game series with a bunch of games that aren't close. I felt that game one was still pretty exciting, even though it's kind of decided by like 5 minutes to go. But at least we had good 3 quarters here. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'll pull up the box score here and see what else I can give you guys. Like I said, it was supposed to be me and Tyler bantering about how we did this. With no Tyler, it makes it a little different for me because if I knew I was by myself, I could have done a little more preparation. The whole idea was we were just going to kind of banter and give our thoughts kind of live, without doing all the prep. So I see Tyler backstage. Hopefully we'll get there. We people, interesting point here. He says, Boston has an advantage size-wise, but not talent-wise. I think you can make that argument. I also think that Boston has a little better bench, and like I said, those guys are going to bounce back. I mean, the idea that Derek White's not going to shoot good or Al Horford's just going to fall apart, I think is pretty bad. But they've done this all year, and that was kind of the reason I like the Warriors pre-series. Is like I said, Boston's rarely put together 2 games in a row, and it feels like every single time they have an excellent performance, like they did in Game 5 in Miami, like they did in Game 1 in Golden State, they can't follow it up. And I made the joke yesterday, right, that they just can't handle success, like those rock stars on VH1 Behind the Music that, work so hard, but once they get success, it falls apart. So here we go. Take 3.
Once again.
Check, 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 check. How we doing?
Do I sound fine or lagging? How bad is it?
It's not good. Keep talking. Let's see if we can get it, or we might have to just call it early.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know at this point. Not restarted. It's still not working. So,
okay. Well, we're gonna figure that out by Monday. Then I'm sorry, guys. I was actually looking forward to today. Right, this is gonna be my chance to go out here a little bit as the team that I was supporting finally got the win, and hey, I'll tell you what, I wasn't brave enough to pick the Warriors, but I thought the Looney was a great play. And he had 6 in the first quarter, and it was just, it was fun to get that cash. So it was nice for me to have a profitable evening as well. I should have played the Warriors too a little bit heavier, and I just didn't do it. And now I'm out of boy, just not the best show today, guys. But we appreciate all the support. Hopefully, I did get the great word out though about all the great weekend of success that we had at Run Pure Bet. So hopefully, you're taking advantage of that. If you're in a good financial situation, you're able to do that. But I understand that not everybody's like that, right? We have some people that are young. We have some people that have children. We have some people that have a lot going on financially, and you might not be able to afford the subscription. So that's why we come on here live and we try and provide a great space for people to talk about handicapping, regardless of where you're at. Hey, you might only be betting $5 a game. But it's fun and it's something we can do. And you got a good question. What kind of operation? I can't even get myself in focus, Twatty. I have no idea what's going on here with this. So yeah, you make a good point. I'm gonna have to get a hold of you. This is like when you were coming live from the bar, right? And we could hear all the music in the background and all the women screaming when you walked in out of jail, California dreaming. You step on the scene and they were screaming. I mean, so sorry about the show today. I'll continue to just go with the comments. I know you guys can hear me, even though I don't look the best. Fortunately, most of you probably don't watch this to see me. Hopefully, you want to hear what I have to say. ISO ball with JB and JT got them to the finals, but when you face a team that thrives off assists, ISO ball won't win it. And I've been like that too. I'm a big fan of the way the Warriors play team basketball rather than this isolation ball. And that was another reason I like the Warriors coming in, because I like team basketball. Man, is it just me being, because I had to be a part of a team when I played. I wasn't athletic enough to win isolation, maybe, but I've always liked that. Yeah, I did. You caught that, huh? You caught that. That's for the older listeners out there. Eric Chang, what is up? Glad to have you here. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Tyler can't make it. I can't get a fresh screen here. So you know what I mean, boy, it's almost like the Boston Celtics performance last night. We showed up with good intentions, and it's just not what we expected. Yeah, and hey, we're trying to do this, right? We're trying to do these recap shows, and boy, the fun thing is you get those classic ones. Like when I was so down on Friday, I could not believe it. But I think it's fun, right? Because, for the most part, people who know me and have been following me for a long time know that, I'm a level-handed handicapper, and I try not to get too down on losses, and very rarely do things bother me. But, it's kind of fun to move into the more content side sometimes, right? And just give in to the negative emotions, even though, like, we know it's not true, right? Like, we know we're overreacting and being overdramatic, but, that kind of sells more and gets more views than me just coming on here being level-headed and logical about every single thing. So it's kind of fun to get the hot takes. It's kind of fun to overreact and do all the stuff, because let's be honest, what do they do on ESPN? Hot takes and overreactions, and those guys make millions of dollars a year. So there definitely is a market for that. I'm trying to lean into it a little more. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. Sorry we couldn't bring it as much as we like to. I'm going to get a hold of Tyler right after this. See what we can do to get him back on. Figure out what's going on with my webcam. I don't know why I'm Mr. Blur right now. And I want to thank, we the people and the rest of the chat for making this a better show. So we will be back We'll be back Wednesday. We're taking tomorrow off. We'll be back Wednesday, 3:30 Eastern. We'll be previewing Game 3 in Boston. We'll see if the turnaround comes. We'll see if the zigzag comes, and we'll see how this continues to go. Yeah, hey, we're all trying to cash tickets. We can't win them all, but super efficient when we win. And you've been doing a great job, and we appreciate the chat. And sometimes you guys bring up things that I've completely overlooked, especially during the regular season when we're capping 10 games at a time. All right, let's try it one more time. We're going to try it one more time, and I'm going to see if I can get my camera to work too as well. All right, I lean back. Am I in? I'm not in focus yet. We're trying to get Tyler on here. We got the circle. Viral says, I don't think that having a series lead matters until the fourth quarter of the game and they sit. Tyler, we don't need video. If we can just hear you, it's fine. What's up, bud?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Try it one more time.
Am I lagging like with my voice or just bad?
Yeah, you're still Darth Vader.
Yeah, it's just...
So, all right, we're gonna call it. Did you have any messages you want me to give the people before we come back on Wednesday?
No.
All right. Sorry about that for the technical difficulties, guys. We'll probably, Tyler, let's get on early and make sure we've got it going. We'll do a better job on Wednesday. But we appreciate everybody for joining us. Like I said, Run Pure Bets absolutely crushed this weekend. If you're not a member and you can afford it, I have no idea what you're doing. If you're only betting $5 a game, and you're building up and you're a struggling college kid eating ramen, hey, that's what we do the free shows for. But if you can afford it and you're not taking advantage of it, I just don't know what to say. So runpurebets.com, use that promo code BETS25 off to become a member if you play DFS. Runpuresports.com, use that promo code GETBETS. Tyler and I will be back Wednesday with better production value. Run Pure.